So this is package specialization on the 11th of May. So I had first a generic topic on timings of the meeting. I think it might be good to only have one meeting per week. So maybe I'll put it on, given the amount of audience we have on the call. Yeah, probably it's wise to discuss that on Slack. And if we agree, then the second question is, of course, which one do we pick or keep? Is it the Monday or is it a Thursday? Do you guys have a preference?
Good Monday.
Yeah, I would prefer the Monday because it's kind of part of the sprint. So it's typically when the sprints ends and starts. So it's always good.
Monday probably a bit better for me too.
Monday's better. Yeah, okay. But I'll ask it on Slack and then see how people react. So that's one. If you then look, let me share the board. Is correct. Where is the board? GitHub. We're almost done. So wait a minute, let me share my screen. I think Bala is joining. So I was just looking. So the PRs that we still have is, so that's, I think, Liam, your README update. So I asked Akash to have a look because he did it. So I believe the changes are
I
okay.
know,
Yeah.
It was minor phrasing.
Yeah,
stuff
it's minor things. Yeah. But I prefer to have Akash agree, and then I'll approve, and then this is done. Then I think
absolutely.
Yeah, the DNN function, I think this is actually ready, but we wanted to split because there is some library code in there.
Yes.
So that's the only remaining things. Yeah.
Sorry, I was distracted today, so I I haven't finished it yet, but yeah, I've already split it, the library and the function into two pieces. And I also made some polishing I started to assemble the full release one pipeline now that all of the functions are merged.
Yeah.
I can assemble the whole pipeline that we agreed on, but I was distracted a bit today with family stuff, so I will still do later today.
Yeah, no, take care. It's appreciated. Yeah, but and then it's kind of done. Unbelievable. I mean, it's only done when it all works, of course. But if I look to the board at the moment, so yeah, this one will not be fully complete. I don't know what I have put a note into here. So the two things that we are still open, but is the things that we just discussed are these. And then, of course, it's the part related to Edgewatcher and Bootstrap and stuff like that. But so we have to wait. I don't know, yes, they are not on the call. But yeah, we also updated the Docker. So I already built the functions yesterday with Rado. So that's also now in place. So all the Docker files are up to date and the make files. That is one thing, Bala, that we brought up with with the team, is that today to build these functions or the specializer code, they are all individual makefiles in some of these subdirectories. So would it not be good to have a central makefile that is being run when we check in or something? So I don't know how to do that. The reason why we didn't start it, because I think it's something maybe also to involve Rado with. So what we did with Rado, or what I did with Rado, is to prepare. Apparently, you have to register which functions and the names somewhere in the Docker Hub. I don't know why yet, but that's what Rado did. So I gave him all the names of the functions. So he did that. I tested that yesterday. But I think it would be good that every time, I think in the other project, every time we do a check-in, we are going to build them, right? So I think I'm wondering, is it something that Rado will do, or is that something we'll have to do?
So right now, so I also saw that, so individual directories have their own make files, right? And some maybe their own targets too, actually make file targets too.
Yeah.
I was reviewing Akash PR yesterday. I think probably Akash or Ganesh, I'm not sure. So it is. I also had the same question. I mean, what is the best practice, Vim and ST, when we have these multiple components? I was thinking probably having a single make file is helpful and push.
So
yeah.
I'm not a make file expert, but John suggested it, and yes, that is, I agree. That is how I've seen it work before. That to put a make file into the directory of each and every Go modules, and then also put one into the root of the repo, and the make file in the root of the repo will call the make files of the individual modules. For example, if you say make test or make unit test in the root repo, then it will call recursively the make test or make unit test of each and every module one by one.
Yeah,
I think that's a good approach. It can be done now. I have a quick and dirty solution that does something similar, but without having individual make files in Go modules. But we already agreed that we will have make files for each Go module anyway, so it would make sense to call them from the root one, from the central one.
Okay, thanks, ST. I think that makes sense to me. Right, Vim? So probably we should do that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, see, the reason to do it hierarchically, in my view, is that sometimes you want to have a local make file for people to build it themselves, right? And test it themselves independently. And then you have the central make files that can test it as a whole.
Yeah.
So that's why I think this two-stage approach, or at least that's my perspective on it, is a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. And Vim, I had one question on the Docker image push.
Yes.
So for example, right, when we build a function,
Yes.
when we do a PR build a function, so I think we have individual, I think even to build the images, we have targets, make file targets in individual directories. So what would Rado actually do? He will to actually push it. Does he have to push them one by one? How do we?
So there is there is a few things that I have or I am starting to understand or learn, is that first of all, I think Rado somehow in the Docker Hub is registering some image names, it seems. Okay.
Okay.
And probably this is to protect that we just push anything on the planet to Docker Hub. That's my assumption. I asked him why he has to do that, but he was busy with stuff, so he didn't answer yet. But he will probably clarify. Okay. So that's one. The second thing that I believe will happen is once we do a PR, once you do a merge or whatever. What he discussed yesterday, in my understanding, is as part of the proud jobs, there will be all of these images will be pushed to the Docker Hub based on the build tag and then potentially a version number, I think, right? So there will be a version or a tag that is attached to these Docker images. But my understanding is that when every commit that we are going to do once this is set up will push and build the images and push them towards the Docker Hub account that we have.
So when we do a Go build, right, will it automatically also build the Docker images in the Nephew repo, or do we have to call some other target to build the Docker image?
So when when we do Go build, it just builds the binary itself, right? So to what we typically do, or what I took the approach from Cube Builder, so they have Docker push and Docker build inside. So there is
So the pro jobs will call those targets?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I was saying. So basically, he
That's
has to call
my
the-
assumption. Okay, I'm not. I would hope that Rado does that because then it's uniform and then he can.
Okay, so
use
that
it.
means the top level make file will call the Docker build and Docker push of
Yeah.
individual modules.
Correct. Yeah.
And he will call the top level one.
Yes.
Okay. So that was overall my mental model. Just wanted to make sure it's not too crazy. In
No,
my-
no. And that's I mean, we took the approach. I took the approach of Q Builder at the moment because okay, that's kind of a bit where we are trying to follow. I have the
Okay.
feeling. So we took, and I think all our make files are uniform. I believe ISTI, right? I think they are all the same more or less.
Yes, but
Except for the name of the function.
yes, but if we want to call them from the central makefile, then we will have to add new targets like GoSec target, the linter. The test has to be a bit different to save the coverage data and things like that.
Yeah,
So
but that's already taken care of, right? Right now.
no, but I'm saying that that they are uniform, but that one of the advantages of this approach, if we have a special KRM functions that requires a special kind of testing, then it can be tested differently if it is needed.
Sure.
But by default, they will be tested the same.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Yeah, I think this is awesome. So yeah, I also did.
I think once ISTI is done, I think we are done basically. I done at least with the code.
Yes, I was reviewing a couple of PRs too. I left a few comments yesterday. ISTI on that specializer thing. My understanding was it is the end-to-end testing. It's probably there is a commit from the other function as well. That's the one comment I left.
We agreed to change
Yes.
a little bit that Bala. So we are going. That's the last thing we have to do. But
Yeah, I think it's doing very well. That's what I was gonna tell in my TSC today. We are almost done in this in this particular subgroup.
Yes.
It is on me totally. By now, today we merged all of the other KRM functions except my work, so I still have two pending.
It's okay.
PRs.
It's okay, Steve. It's okay. We have
But
time.
I hope. Yeah. But I hope to finish soon. So.
Yeah, and then I mean, and also if you know, we are also asking for additional time too, right? So
Yes. But okay, I mean, see, we still have to test it all together, and there will be corner case and failure case. So there might be some bugs that comes out left, right, and center, right? So.
But, the one additional thing that we need to test, I think we might have already covered Web in this particular thing is the upgrade scenarios, essentially scale out scenarios. How do we? So when it has to scale out to when the user wants to expand, say, so my understanding is it's a user action, right? The user will express.
Yeah. Normally, So we are just called by Porsche basically, right? So every time there's a change in the package and they create a new revision, if you will, right? We will be called, and then we will do the work. So when it's per package, right? So for us, we just run per package. So there is no scale in or scale out. We just have, but we will run for each package independently, right?
Yeah. For example, if there is a scale out scenario for UPF, let's just take that example, then that particular package will be updated. And then
all function will run again. They will look at the diffing and stuff like that, right? So that's one of the tests that we have to do. So we have taken the provisions in place to do so. Each of the individual function in the testing that we have done, I have done some of my unit tests, have tested that, right? The question is, does it all work together? That we haven't fully tested.
Yeah, I think that is one thing. Probably once we are done with all the board, we can focus on that, because that's like we discussed yesterday, right? Workload cluster will also, I mean, they have to do some, they have to obviously reboot on their side. If there is
for now, but
I think at least from our group side, probably if you can just test it out, maybe once we are done with all this.
Yeah, correct. So what I wanted to do is, from the moment we have all the baseline done, I wanted to focus on the pipeline, the testing on the pipeline, and ISTI has that in place. But we have to discuss the scenarios that we have to validate in order to because see, for us, we get an input and we deliver an output, right? And what we have to test, so we can do that independently of all the rest, in my view. And so we could test. So this is once we have the pipeline either in place, what we will do is start. For me, the next call on Monday will be focused more on the scenarios that we want to cover, right? And ensure that we can if there are problems, that we find them and we correct them independent of the complete end-to-end testing, right? So that's the whole idea.
Yeah.
So there might be still a few things coming out of that, but what is good for me is that we have the codes, and we spent quite some time on the libraries and stuff like that. There is also still some optimizations, I think, because when we started, 2 months ago versus now, we learned also during the journey. So some of the libraries probably need some updates. But what my proposal is, let's first get it to work, right? And then we will optimize some of these pieces that are in there to make it more optimized in terms of the libraries. But there is some from where we started 2 months ago, we learned quite a lot. So this was a very I think good way of working. And I think from where we are right now, I think there was a few things that I would do differently, but okay, that's part of the process, I guess. But we'll do that step by step. First, focus on getting it to work, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'd like to thank all the people that have contributed here. I mean, it was really great to get to where we are. But it's not done until it's done. So
absolutely, and thank you, Wim, for you and ISTI's leadership on this. Really appreciate it.
It's all people. I mean, we have all the people in it. All right. So with that, I think we can close the call unless there is something. Or Victor, do we want to discuss a little bit, but that's more the package management side of thing on the install?
No, that's fine. And you have your agenda.
It's typically a different.
Here, I mean, because I'm. So I was.
You're cutting off, I think, Victor.
Like we have been attending the open source summit. That's why I'm in the hotel. So let me type it.
Yeah, so Victor, I checked in the other packages, by the way, just before this call. So we have cluster API, we have the provider, and then the manifest for it. And I also have Cert Manager separately. So I was planning to do a bit of test there to see, and then use the Git and stuff like that. So, but so maybe let's discuss that with John and stuff like that. All right. Thank you all. If there's no other, okay, I think there's something that, okay.
Yeah, I saw that big NF, this also merged, so that's good, NF generation.
Yes, we merged. The only thing that is missing basically is I think it's just a split. I think ISTI had some libraries in his code, and I think it's split, and it's related to your comment as well, Bala, on the pipeline. So if we split that apart properly, and we don't have these interdependencies. Yeah,
awesome.
The pipeline is a draft PR. I just forgot to mark it properly, so it doesn't meant to be ready yet.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but so once I focus on the DNN right now, Isti, right? And then tomorrow we'll have a look at the pipeline. I haven't looked at it yet, but
Okay,
we'll try to get that done
okay.
ASAP as well. All right. Thanks and talk to you later.
Thank you so much, Wim. Have a good one, everyone. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.